Aha! Hello, innovators. Hello to everyone that is passionate about innovation. Another week with another innovation grab. Even with the cough that I have had in my chest, no matter what we're having today, the innovation grab. So let's go for it. 10 minutes. What are we going to talk today? We're going to briefly talk about what it's called innovation skills, a very important topic within innovation. And in order to talk about this, we're going to use somehow what is kind of like the Bible, okay, in the literature about this. And it's the Innovator DNA by Jeff Dyer, Hal Gregersen, and Clayton Christensen. So let's talk about these ideas. In order to talk about them, we're just going to overview what are the 5 skills of the disruptive innovators and what each of them mean. So let's go for it. 5 skills of disruptive innovators. Basic. Jeff Dyer says that we have more creative power than we think. And that basically comes from scientific research. 1/3 of your creative capacity usually is impacted by your genetical background. Okay, but 2/3 are learn, are develop, are nurture. Hence, the call for action is nurture your creative capacity, because guess what? 2/3 of it, you can learn it, you can grow it, you can nurture it. So let's start nurturing that creative capacity. And how do we do that? We do that by actually questioning, observing, networking, experimenting, and associating. And why are we going to do this? Well, according to the authors, we're going to do this because it allows us to generate breakthrough ideas, business model, products, services, processes, experiences, and so on. And this comes from the basic idea that innovators have the courage to innovate. And this means challenging the status quo, taking risk, and being confident about their creative capability. And that translates into very punctual behavioral skills. And those are questioning, observing, networking, experimenting. Hence, you want to develop your innovative behavioral skills. Start questioning, start observing, start networking, start experimenting. The final thing that the authors point out is that there are some cognitive skills associated to being innovative, and that's basically associational thinking. It can only come after you have questioned, observed, network, experiment constantly, because it's about connecting wildly different things. And we're going to talk about that a little bit further. Now, from this approach, we actually have innovators who are usually discovery skill driven. They're very discovery driven. And then we have executors, which are delivery driven. And we even have a type which is in the middle of being discovery driven and delivery driven, which are what we call developers. And they're usually the bridges between the discovery driven and the delivery driven. Each of these profiles, whichever is yours, actually fits different type of organizations. When we have organizations that are starting early on, discovery-driven skills are fundamental. But maybe when we have an organization that is more mature, delivery-driven skills are key. So learn what skills drive you, and does the current organization that you're in nurture your skills? Those are interesting questions to ask yourself about. And they actually have an assessment that allows you to learn if you are more discovery driven or if you are more delivery driven, for you to answer and overview this. But in this 10 minutes, let's start with the skills. Associating, also called combinatorial play. What's it about? Well, simply put, it's about connecting wildly different ideas, objects, services, technologies, frameworks, disciplines to actually generate new or unusual things. And that is what associational thinking is about in a simple way. It means that constantly you are creating odd combinations and you are unafraid of it. that you're zooming in and looking at the detail and the causes, but also zooming out to see how what you're looking at plays in the bigger context. It means also Lego thinking, or putting pieces together, creating modules. It means also taking on different personas, generating metaphors, building curiosities or boxes or spaces for you to explore and think about. And it also means thinking about what can be eliminated, what could be rearranged, what could be combined, what could be minimized, what could be magnified, what could be changed, okay? Or what sometimes people call the scamper method. Now, another skill is questioning. Yes, even the unquestionable. And there is a structure for the questioning, and that is actually thinking about questions as those that allow you to describe or map your territory, and those that allow you to disrupt your territory. Some questions that allow you to describe or map are: what is it, who, what, where, how, what caused that? But actually, what allows you to disrupt what you're thinking about is asking yourself, what if, why not, how might we, why? So questioning is another key skill for us to nurture in terms of innovation. There's many different activities. I'm just pointing out some here. For example, engaging into question storming or role modeling question, which is actually fostering it, tracking your question and answer ratio, or keeping questions notebooks for you to go over and think about. Now, it's not all about questioning either. It means that another skill for us to consider is what we call observance, because it allows us to harness our curiosity and appreciation. And the observation under this framework is very particular because it basically proposes that innovators are very focused on what's the job that things do and what are the work around those things. Hence is observation, but in a more analytical way. The final skills that are associated to innovators are what we call networking, which means actually opening yourself to others, and with a focus on idea rather than on resources, and with a focus on people that are not like you, that are not only experts, but non-experts, and that have different backgrounds and perspectives, so you can find new and surprising things and test things out too. The final skill that we're sharing today is what we call experimenting. And it's not failing, but finding ways to do the work in a different way or understand what doesn't work and what works. And that basically means harnessing experiences that are new for you, or taking things apart, processes, ideas, products, services, business models, business cases. And it also means actually testing through pilots and prototypes. So these are the key innovation skills associated to disruptive innovators. And this is today's Innovation Wrap. Do you enjoy it? Share with me your key takeaways if you did. Thank you once again for joining this Innovation Wrap. Goodbye.